Welcome back to Explained. I'm Sonam, and this is a podcast where we explore how AI is reshaping industries one conversation at a time. This is episode 3, and today we are diving into the world of AI driven business intelligence with someone who knows the space inside out, Kamer. Kamer is part of the Explain team where I work as well, working on AI solutions that are transforming the way businesses extract insights from data. Traditional BI systems have relied heavily on manual processes, and I'm sure many of you know this already, especially who are working in the data science area. But with the recent hype and the work around AI agents, they are definitely changing the game. They're automating insight generation, learning from feedback, and even adapting in real time. So, Kamer, welcome to the episode. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, Sonam. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So why don't we kick things off? And I will start with one basic question for you. And the question is, what do you think is the biggest shift AI agents bring to business intelligence today?
Mhm. I think the biggest shift is automation. So
Hmm.
previously, business intelligence consists of lots of manual processes, which are done by experts in different areas.
Hmm.
So, for example, if you were to extract business insights from a company's enterprise data, you had to have like a set of experts in business domain, someone who writes some like data analysts who write SQL queries to like extract the information, somebody to like visualize the outputs, and somebody else to maybe like interpret and present that to the executives.
Hmm.
And now, with the help of AI agents, all of these steps can be automated.
Hmm.
And lots of companies are like releasing products for like text to SQL
Right.
and answering, as well as also including the visualization and
Hmm.
interpretation components, thanks
Hmm.
to like code generation and text generation capabilities of large language models.
Right.
So this of course makes things much more easier
Hmm.
as the whole process are automated by a single system, which basically like wears different hats
Right. Right.
based on the task. So you can have a single pipeline which performs the whole workflow, and it is also working quite reliably.
Mm. And do you think it's doing maybe a better job than a human would do for especially extracting insights? Does it just is it all the insights that are extracted, are they just based on what prompt we're giving, or does it use like, because LLM is all about reasoning and thinking,
Mhm,
so I was wondering how you mentioned reliability, so I was curious like what makes you think that these kind of agents for this particular task that we're
mhm.
discussing, how reliable they are and how do you assess the reliability there?
Yes. So for code generation tasks, which is required for SQL query generation as well as for visualization, they are quite reliable.
Mm.
And in terms of basically like interpreting the results and generating a summary, like text summary of the results, they also do a great job. And
Mhm.
because basically large language models are trained with vast amounts of domain-specific knowledge,
Mhm.
they have basically implicit knowledge in different problems or across different
Mhm.
domains, and
Right.
therefore they are able to like leverage that,
Mm.
because like one single person may not have the full expertise in every domain.
Mhm.
And of course, there are also other advantages, such as basically the speed of doing things, because like they can do all of these things without relying on multiple persons in a quite fast way.
Mhm.
And on top of that, basically, don't just like think this as a single pipeline of workflow, but basically through an agentic system, you are also able to like conduct like different review and refinement
Mm-hmm.
processes.
Mm-hmm.
So they are also by using like self-reflection, they are able to like improve their answers
Right.
and also do like reasoning. For example, let's say they produce a certain answer to a certain question,
Mm-hmm.
and then then they may like you may use another agent to like criticize that answer, and
Mm-hmm.
that critic may affect how that answer is refined in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like styling. For example, depending on the target persona, it may ask for like different complexity in the answers or different styles, and it may even, for example, come up with further questions. So the user asks a question, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have an outcome based on data.
Mm-hmm.
Then that outcome or that answer may trigger further questions,
Right.
which agents again can come up with answers for, and they can be like landed to a final answer, which is much more um, comprehensive than the answer of the single question.
Right. That actually like gives me a good segue to the next question, especially with this reflection and making decisions and reiterating on its own with agents. I'm curious, with these agents autonomously generating insights, how do you ensure that they align with the strategic business objectives rather than just, you know, producing technically correct, accurate, but misaligned results?
Mhm. Um, Basically, when Sonam, I actually didn't explain you that part yet.
Mhm.
Basically, at Explain, we went one step ahead of the traditional like business insights extraction system,
Mhm.
because those systems typically extract answers to your questions. And we have a patent pending technology now, which actually thinks about the best questions to ask. And
Interesting.
therefore, it is able to autonomously generate insights.
Mhm.
So the automation part there is not limited to generate the answer to a question the user asks anymore,
Mhm.
but the system itself, based on the data of the user, um, can do discovery,
Mhm.
can basically create hypothesis on what might be like meaningful questions to ask, and then can answer those questions. And based on the answers of those questions, when there is any valuable information is found,
Mhm.
it can it can extract actionable insights or suggestions on, for example, how to improve the business.
Right.
So in basically other systems nowadays, which are using agents to as BI systems, they are generally relying on user asking questions
Mm.
and the system is answering. But the power of agents is actually um, because they have the implicit domain knowledge, they can play as the user,
Mm.
and without with a minimal involvement of the user, they can autonomously do things.
Mm.
So they don't anymore even need humans' expertise on what that to know what that human might be interested. They can just like hypothesize like different things,
Mhm.
do the research, and
Mhm.
then whenever a valuable insight is found, basically convey that insight in an actionable with actionable items or recommendations.
Do you?
Because let's say I'm running a business
Mhm.
and I'm a CFO or CEO of a company.
Mhm.
Then to improve my business, I want to check like analyze different situations in my company. So I ask different questions, right? So like what for example, what is our churn rate of customers or
Mhm.
employees? So I try to find answers to different key performance indicators about the business, and then I do a checkup, and based on that checkup, I make a decision on how to, like pivot my business, like what to improve,
Mhm.
like what key hires I need to make, or how I need to reshape my organization, or what should be my focus in terms of my like marketing, how my product compares to my competitors, and then based on the insights I get, answers to that questions, I would then reason to I would then reason for an action plan, right? A short-term action plan and long-term action plan. And what I'm trying to tell is that to do that, you don't even now need the expertise of a CFO or CEO,
Mhm.
because large language models are capable of playing that role.
Right.
I mean, they are actually even capable of playing the role of a scientist and discover different algorithms, mathematical formulas, proofs to theorems. So they are able to make innovation. So they are not limited limited as robotic process automation tools, which like delivers
Mhm.
your need, but
Mhm.
they're able to innovate.
Just do more. Do you think like because you mentioned like a lot of autonomy here and in the abilities of agents, do you think we need or in these advanced systems do we need that human in the loop component at all?
Definitely, I mean, human, of course, the AI agent who is basically doing these jobs autonomously,
Mm-hmm.
they make assumptions, right? So
Yeah.
their like general knowledge on a specific domain or about a specific persona
Mm-hmm.
may not fully match an actual condition. So to tune it towards basically what you specifically want, you may provide so a certain input, and they are
Mm-hmm.
able to refine themselves based on your feedback. So they are able to tune their actions or refine themselves based on your feedback. For example, let's talk again about an autonomous business insight extraction system. So let's say it generates too much insights about human resources, and if you
Mm-hmm.
provide a feedback like like I'm more interested in financial details, like go to financial details or marketing details, then it would take in your input into account while deciding on its planning or further actions to get you what you want. So
Got it.
it's not just about the reliability questions.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it has been so LLMs are a new technology, so they have been around since a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody was very alarmed at the beginning about hallucinations and other things, but things are improving very rapidly, and in my observation, they are actually quite reliable. If like also they are used by like different guardrails
Mm-hmm.
or different mechanisms.
Right.
So like human involvement is not necessarily about the reliability, but it's um, more about providing the minimum input
Just
to tune
mm-hmm.
tune that autonomously working system towards your actual goals,
Got it.
and that may be configuration at the initialization of the system, or
Mm-hmm.
that may be an ongoing interaction between the human and the agents. And I'm a strong believer in basically human AI collaboration. So I don't think it's necessary to pick a path.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like a collaborative environment is always better than an
Much stronger.
individual
Yeah,
working on a certain topic.
I bet. So now, it that totally makes sense, and I'm with you on the whole collaborative effort because I think that's how people should think about AI and humans, how they can coexist. Now, in your opinion, especially, you mentioned how Explain's ability is to do feedback-driven learning and to get more or to refine the insights. So I'm curious, what are the most critical challenges that you see in implementing such adaptive systems, especially in the rapidly changing data and needs and whatnot in this space?
I mean, basically, when you create a system which acts stochastically,
Mm-hmm.
of course, there's a trade-off. So they are more dynamic, they are more adaptive, but they may not always produce the same level of results.
Mm-hmm.
So, like there may be a standard deviation on the optimal level of the things, so that it may depend on the environment or the query.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a trade-off between a static flow and a dynamic flow which is decided or generated
Mm-hmm.
by the agent. It gives you like more capability, but there are more risks involved because the plan may not always be optimal,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore such systems require more extensive testing
Mm-hmm.
to ensure of the robustness
Mm-hmm.
of the results.
Right.
And it's explain also we are working in other set of technologies for evolving agentic systems,
Mm-hmm.
and those are working through basically testing your agentic system or evaluating in with different sets of queries, and then based on the output, hypothesizing what kind of improvements can be made on the agentic system,
Mm-hmm.
and based on that, we refine the agentic system and evaluate it again
Mm-hmm.
to see if the new variant is improved in terms of the output quality, like robustness, cost, speed, etc. And therefore, we try to tune the prompts and workflow and other parameters involved in an agentic system in order to ensure that robustness. Because normally, ensuring that it's a manual process, so
Mm-hmm.
it's a process which involves the prompt engineer or the person who develops the system to manually make assumptions, change the system,
Mm-hmm.
evaluate, observe the results.
Mm-hmm.
But we are also working in technologies to do that automatically, so that we can optimize the system to ensure some level of robustness that
Mm-hmm.
in a even a stochastic system with a dynamically created plan may work as expected in the real world.
Nice. That was pretty interesting. So now I'm gonna leave you with the last question, and this is like because of all of what you told me, I'm thinking from the future of decision making with AI agents point of view, and I think you touched a little bit on this in the previous question, but I'm curious. So, do you envision a future where human decision makers take a more strategic oversight role while leaving the tactical decisions entirely to these AI agent systems? Do you think that either, or what would it take to achieve that level of trust in AI systems?
So I think definitely AI agents are augmenting human
Mm-hmm.
capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
both in a personal level or also in a business level.
Right.
Because I mean they first of all automate things for you
Mm-hmm.
and makes your business more fast paced or like agile
Mm-hmm.
and also scalable,
Mm-hmm.
and you are able to do more things with less resources. You know, like
Right.
you are able to like drive more innovation,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore as the automation capabilities of agents
Mm-hmm.
or AI improves, like we can assume that humans will play more like in a driving role, like in a driving seat,
Right. Yeah.
and probably makes the strategical decisions. But even in strategical decisions, I think AI will be used as a tool to help you to
Mm.
guide your decisions. So
Exactly.
it's a for example, it's a so let's say you want to decide something, and it's always helpful to like discuss it with someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it can basically bring you ideas, lead you to like spontaneous discovery. So it's a, as I said, it's a collaborative process. So it may
Mm-hmm.
bring you an idea that you haven't thought about,
Right.
although you may be an expert in that topic, it may give you a different viewpoint.
Mm-hmm. Got
So
it.
it's not just the automation tool. Also, it's a decision helper.
Yes. Yes. Got it. That was a fascinating deep dive into how AI agents are transforming business intelligence, and this was something I don't know, I never focused on. But Kamer, thanks so much for sharing your insights and breaking down how even explains multi-agent system is leading this shift and how we are progressing in this direction. And yeah, so this is a wrap. To everyone listening, if you found this conversation valuable, don't forget to follow Explained for more discussions on how AI is shaping the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and we'll see you in the next episode of Explained. Thank you.
Thank you very much.